Welcome to Focus Washington. I'm Chuck Conconi, and my guest today is my old friend and colleague, in a way, Bob Cusack, who's editor of The Hill newspaper. Bob, thank you for being here.
Good to be back.
Well, this has been an incredible busy time for you, particularly on The Hill.
Mm-hmm.
What are you hearing about, particularly how the Republicans are going to handle Donald Trump, possibly at the head of the ticket?
It's very difficult for people in tough elections. Republicans who are in purple states, some have endorsed Trump, some have not. So I think we saw this week with Paul Ryan. They had a constructive meeting. I think you're going to see Paul Ryan endorse Donald Trump before the conventions. He's not there yet, but I think that most of the Republican Party is getting behind Donald Trump. There will be some, like Bill Kristol, who wants another candidate to get in the race, who will never be for Trump. But I think that Republicans are coming to grips with this reality that they never thought would happen.
Will this hurt Ryan, though, if he does come in support? I mean, because he spoke so differently. And I always say, every time they have meetings, they've been well and they've been warm. And everything was sweet and not kind.
Yeah, I mean, they're two very different types of people. I mean, Trump is a celebrity and Ryan is a policy wonk. I think Ryan might have been a little bit surprised by the backlash after he refused to endorse him last week. So I think in some ways he can endorse Trump but not fully embrace him. Of course, Paul Ryan is thinking about running for president at some point. Maybe that's 2020. But I also think that he irritated a lot of the Trump supporters, and he's going to need them down the road if he runs for president.
But how much, I sit there and I wonder about the predictions are that with Trump at the head of the ticket, the Republicans are going to lose the Senate and lose seats in the House. Is that still that way? And then from people you talk to up there, how do they feel?
That's the feeling. Of course, Trump thinks he's going to have long coattails, but the Senate majority is very fragile, and Republicans are defending more than twice the amount of seats that Democrats are defending. So that is the conventional wisdom, and I've talked to some Democrats, too, in the House, and they say actually, privately, they don't think they can get the 30 seats to win back the House, but they think they can get close. And that's why all the Republican establishment, they're still so nervous because they think they're going to lose the presidency, they're going to lose the Senate, and they're going to lose a lot of seats in the House. And then Paul Ryan next year would have a very narrow majority, and this is a very raucous majority he's dealing with right now. So if he only has a slim majority, that's going to be very difficult for him to lead the House.
Well, Democrats don't have to gain the House without it being a big victory, even if they gain a number of seats.
That's right, and that's what they're looking at, and Democrats are giddy right now. There's Hillary Clinton, there's an excitement issue that is not there, that was there for Barack Obama in 2008. But they say, okay, she's competent, she can be president, she has the experience to be president. And they also are going to go, and they've already started to go very negative on Trump, and they think that's a winning combination. But it's a long way. You never know what can happen.
No, I know it's a long way, but is this a very different Republican Party than we've seen before that's going to come out of this?
Yeah, and I think that the convention is going to be fascinating because we don't know what, Trump has changed positions recently on the minimum wage. He's pivoting to the general election as well as on taxes. So I think that the convention is going to be telling of where this party is going. What is the identity of the GOP? We'll find out, but I think it's a very different time, and I think history, however it ends, I think history is going to look back to this year and say this year was like no other.
Well, Speaker Ryan said in his interview after he talked with Trump that he has attracted more new people to the Republican Party that they haven't seen before, and the numbers who have voted for him are substantial.
Yeah. No, it's impressive. He's had a Teflon type of reputation because he said different things. He said controversial things, as you know, and his supporters continue to support him. And he's brought out, as Ryan mentioned, a lot of new voters, and they're going to need a lot of those voters. However, Trump must improve his numbers among Hispanics and women. I don't know how he's going to do that, but he's going to have to do that to defeat Hillary Clinton. And I think he might have to win all three debates, but he's shown to be a very effective debater.
Well, she is too, and she has her problems right now too, with Bernie Sanders, who doesn't want to leave the race until the very end.
Yes, no, it's as Trump has noted, is that he thought he was going to be fending off until the end, maybe a contested convention, and now it's Bernie Sanders who's going to stay into this race into June at the very least, into California. And then the question is, does he continue the fight to the convention in Philadelphia. That remains to be seen. I think there'll be some deal that is struck between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton as far as what's going to be in the party platform and Sanders' role at the convention. He won't be picked for vice president. But I think there are going to be some difficult negotiations in the weeks ahead.
But he has new people too, and she has to be very careful to try to keep them.
Yes. She has to unite the party, and she has to make sure not to alienate those supporters, many of whom think he still has a chance to win this, and he really doesn't mathematically. But she also has the FBI investigation, and that looks like it's wrapping up. So that's another X factor where some people think that if that investigation wounds her politically, maybe Joe Biden comes in. Who knows? It's a very unpredictable year.
Well, I keep hearing that about Joe Biden coming in. That doesn't sound at all feasible, does it?
I think the only way it would be feasible is if the FBI found something extremely damning of her. That's the only situation. And we haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen anything that rises to that. But the FBI is going to be coming out with some type of statement or something, I think, over the next couple months.
I don't have to put you on the spot, but if you were to make a prediction, how do you think it's going to turn out? And how do you think, or what are you hearing, again, from the members on the Hill that you're talking to? I mean, they must be astonished by all this.
They're astonished that Trump has made it this far. They're also astonished at the money that Bernie Sanders has raised and the threat and the fact that he's won 19 states. No one could have predicted that. You know, I think you have to look at the demographics of the country, and Hillary Clinton is the favorite going in. However, she is more of an insider than Donald Trump. This has been the year of the outsider, the year of Trump, the year of Sanders, even Ben Carson. So I do think that some people who, if Democrats are thinking this is going to be easy and this is going to be a blowout win, that could happen, but more and more Democrats are saying, listen, we got to take this guy seriously. He beat 16 other Republicans, a few of them that are very accomplished politicians. So you can't take anything for granted in politics.
Thank you so much for being here with me today, Bob. Bob
Thanks,
Cusack of the Hill paper. I'm Chuck Conconi, and this has been Focus Washington.